Hi everybody, this is Gary D with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Monday, February 9th, 2026. So the Bulls continue to squeeze the Bears right here. It is something that goes around that the NFC wins the Super Bowl. The S&P is higher than where it was last March, 73% of the time. So maybe that's the reason. Who knows? But in any case, it was actually kind of a boring day. Once we had this rip higher, we really it was a very shallow range right there, and really not much that to do right there. So it was a little bit, like I said, boring. I still think we're going to be doing some backing and filling, possibly down to the 69.45. That would make sense, but even down somewhere to this 69.06, that would actually be even better right there, because we have support right here with as well as the moving average. So this would be an area that I'd keep an eye on. If we just take a look at the software, retracement wise, you can see we're looking at with the top. This is the top that we made in January. So these are our upside. These are our GAN targets right here: 70.22, 70.43, 70.85, and 71.70. This high was made on January 28th. So these are the projected dates that we'd be looking for some type of turn: March 14th, April 28th, July 27th, and then January next year. And then these are our extensions right here. So you can see if we came down to the 69.17, that would be a 38% retracement. 23% would be 69.40. So if we go back and take a look at it, you can see this 69.40. This was really the high that we made on Friday. And so that would make sense if we had it, because right now I'm looking at this that we're completing the wave 3. We may need another push higher, but you can see right here 1, 2, 3. So typically it's a shallow retracement. So I would say to 69.45, and then from there we'll probably come up and test these highs. But we have some sell signals, so seeing a little bit of backing and filling tomorrow would make sense. But we know once the Bulls get control of the tape, they don't really let go of it too easily. So again, if we get a pullback, just keep an eye on the 69.45 level. If it goes below that, we're looking at the 69.08, and that matches up pretty close to the 69.17. So we again looking for some backing and filling would make perfect sense. On a 60-minute chart, you can see we don't have any sell signals. So the next pullback that we get most likely is going to be bid back up, and that will be our wave 5. And I would guess somewhere up into the 7003, or if it's an extension right here, you can see the 742. If we go back and take a look at it, you can see that we have 762. That's 127% retracement. And then we also have the 722 right here at 723, and then 7040. So these would, this matches up pretty close right here. So this would be our probably our upside target if the Bulls can get above it. But right now, any type of pullback, like I said, I think anywhere near that 69.12 level would be a pretty good buying opportunity. If they lose that, that's when we just start keeping an eye on lower levels. But right now, I'd be keeping an eye on this side here, right around that 79.50. Now, you can see the IWM had a pretty strong day again. It's into support, but it's really the same thing. This is the buying opportunity. It was pretty early on, and then from there it just smoked higher and then went sideways. So there wasn't really, again, a whole lot of trading unless you bought this dip right here. You can see we have some pretty good sell signals. So I'd be looking for some type of pullback, and I'm going to put in the numbers into the software. So I'll hang on one second. All right, so let's take a look here. So this was, if we're going to put the high here, and this was on at 12:30 today at 267.67. So if we go and take a look at the software, actually this is 267.67. And here's our targets for the GAN targets: 271, 276, 284, and then 301. As far as time periods, this is what we're looking at as far as some type of top to come in. And on a shorter time period, here you can see this was actually made at 12 o'clock. So let's change that. 12. And here you can see we're looking at the 18th, the 2nd, and the 13th as far as some projected low dates, or it could be actually a top date on that. It may be a short-term top. We have to just wait and see what happens with it. But here you can see our fib retracement. So if it's going to be a shallow fib retracement, we're looking at the 264.70. A little bit deeper, we'll be at the 262.86. And if we take a look at IWM, you can see we have, there's some support right here at the 263.72, but we have support right here at 264.88. So I think anything down at these levels, this zone right here, would be probably a pretty good buying opportunity right in this area. So anywhere from the 265 down to the 262.88 would make perfect sense. But again, we have these sell signals. If we take a look at the hourly chart, hang on. You can see we don't have any sell signals, so any type of pullback I think is going to get bid back up again. Again, I'd keep an eye on that 264.37 level, and let's just take a look at this. So 264.70 and 262.86 would be targets that I would be keeping an eye on. So what we want to do is just kind of mark, put some support there. So I'm going to change these up to, I just have to take a double look. So we got 264.70 and so 264 right there, say. And then we're looking at the 262.86. This is pretty close to it. And you can see we're running, this is support, pretty good support levels right here. So that's what the software is projecting is if we get a pullback, we should find buyers in this area here. I'd like to see it come down to the 260.71 just to give it a little more breathing room and give let the bulls refuel. And then from there, like I said, I've been looking for targets to come somewhere up into these levels here. So the 275.91 would be a great upside target on it. As far as our quantum stocks, you can see they were up some. QBTS was up 2%, a little over 2%. RGTIW is down 47 cents, but that was also up 40% on Friday. And then RGTI was down some. So overall, we had an okay day with the port. We did 28.30 for the day. It was really, the IREN had a fantastic day, and that really is what pulled up the portfolio. As you can see right here, it was up another $10, so 10%, $4. So things are doing good, but you can see we have some resistance. Now let me show you in the software what we can do here is we have this 63.71, and then so let's do this. Hang on one second. Okay, so I just put in the numbers. It's the software, you can put it for any stock you want. So I just put in these numbers for IREN. You can see 63.71, and we had 63.36. 36.36 was the low. So I entered in these numbers here. You can see that we had our first. These, if we take out these highs, these are going to be our upside targets. This was the date that it made the high, so these are going to be some projected targets you want to keep an eye on. And short term, these are, we made the top at 330 at 128, and 63.71 was the high. So if we're looking at some projections here, you can see that on the if we look at on the upside here, we have 57.26, 53.26 as far as some resistance. And if we take a look, you can see we still have a little bit more ways to go, but if we look, we have some pretty heavy resistance right in this area. So I let the software do this. It works out, gives you some visual targets on it. As far as extensions, if we could take these highs out, we're looking at the 71.15 and then the 80.60, and it's IREN is one of the stocks that I really, really like. I think everybody should have it in their portfolio. But anyway, for tomorrow, like I said, I'd be anticipating some backing and filling, but we have this. If the bulls can get above these highs right here, look for this gap to get filled at 269.51. So let's see what plays out tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys.